One of the four pillars that we talk about a lot is stakeholder satisfaction, which is for us, it's about knowing and understanding the expectations of those who depend on the job that you do. Right? It's all about understanding what's needed from your position, not necessarily from you, but from the role you're filling. And when you think about stakeholders, it's everybody, it's customers, it's the people you share the road with, it's your employees. So everybody kind of has a stake in the success and the job that you're doing. But there's a lot that can go wrong, as you know, if you're not paying attention to your stakeholders.
Yeah, you really have to be focused on this because this is how they get their job done. Your mission is to facilitate their mission.
Totally.
Right? And if they don't have what they need to get their work done, that means, lost profit if you're corporate, or really you're not serving your constituents properly in your, municipality or government fleet or whatever it may be. So it's an absolute necessity. If you're not doing that, if you're not focused on it, you're literally failing at the mission of fleet in and of itself, right?
Yeah, and so there's a few things that can happen if you're not paying attention to stakeholder satisfaction. If you're not measuring it, if you're not conducting interviews like we say to do, quarterly reviews with your business and stakeholders, one of them, probably the most simple and most personal, is you could lose your job.
Very easily.
Right? It's very quick for one head to roll, and that's the fleet manager if you're not doing well.
Right.
But there's another area, which is, you've kind of hit it. The ops aren't going to be able to do their job.
Right.
The police aren't going to be able to get there. I think there's a favorite saying I love, which is, without us, they walk.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
You don't need them walking.
Right. You failed everyone at that point. Right. And that's a great point. And something we've talked about before, you're not only putting your own job at risk here.
Yeah.
Right. Your entire team's job at risk. We see people outsource all the time, right? If it's not going well, if they think they can do it better, faster, more importantly, to a higher level of quality and get those folks what they need, they will outsource in a minute. And we've seen this. A lot of the times, the outsourcing battle is as much political as anything else. Yeah. Because a particular department, a powerful department, feels like, hey, I'm not getting what I need. You're not paying enough attention to what my precise needs are, right? And we see it a lot. We see it a lot these days. A lot more outsourcing, competitions. They'll set you up. Hey, we'll do this group in outsourcing and this group in.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you're private, if you're public. Both are under threat of outsourcing. I've seen it in both.
Yes.
Where it's not a core competency. Corporates will say that all the time. This isn't a core competency. We're not going to do fleet.
Right.
We're not a fleet company. We're a gas and electric company or something like that.
Right.
But police, city fleets, county fleets, I've seen them outsource as well. FMC, they could outsource just to a repair shop down the street, because police will always say that as well. I can just go to a Jiffy Lube and they'll get it done just as fast. Right. And not thinking about all the extra value add that you should be bringing as a fleet manager. If you're not paying attention to stakeholder satisfaction, you're not adding value to the organization. They will outsource it in a minute. And you'll cost everybody in the department their jobs.
Exactly. And one more quick thing. One of the things we always talk about is how complicated fleet is and how difficult it is for others to understand precisely what it is you need to do as a fleet manager.
Yeah.
That makes it all the more easy to cut you and outsource you. They don't understand, and they don't need to understand in that case. So that's a big piece of it, right? If you're not having satisfied customers, what motivation is it for them to understand?
Yeah.
So you really need to go there.
You have to pay attention to stakeholder satisfaction.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yep.